Hey Charger History! Today's essential question is, what are the Earth's major climate zones? When I say pause, press pause on your video and turn to page 12 in your notebook. Skip one line and copy the essential question neatly. Then draw a vertical line to the bottom of the page. There are three major climatic conditions or climate zones around the world: temperate, tropical, and polar. You can see that polar is at the top and bottom of the Earth, at the North and South Pole. That's why it's called polar. You can see that temperate is in green. It's not too high and not too low on the Earth. But tropical, on the other hand, is in the very middle of the Earth, where the sun hits the strongest. Please copy your first topic, climate zones. On the details side of your line, please draw the picture that you see on the screen. Draw a circle, draw all the lines, and label each climate zone. Leave space for more notes underneath. Please pause this video if you need more time to draw. Climate is affected mainly by a region's distance from the equator, which is this center line going around the Earth horizontally. Another way of saying distance from the equator is latitude. Latitude just means how much am I moving south of the equator and how much am I moving north of the equator. The sun hits the Earth most directly on the equator, right in the middle. Therefore, it's hottest on the equator, which is the line that runs horizontally. On this line, the Earth is sunny, hot, humid, and wet. This area right in the middle of the Earth is called the tropics. These are the tropics, the highlighted part of this map, and these are what it looks like in the tropics. Looks like a pretty good vacation spot, huh? The northern boundary of the tropics is called the Tropic of Cancer. That's just one line that is north of the equator. The bottom boundary is called the Tropic of Capricorn. In between these areas is the area known as the tropics. Go ahead and label those two lines, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, on the picture that's already in your notes. Press pause if you need more time to label. But climate is affected more than just by how far or close you are from the equator. The equator and latitude is probably the most important factor for climate, but it also matters in what type of landform you live. For example, climate changes a lot in the mountains. When you're up on top of a mountain, the air is thin and cold. The higher up you get, the harder it is to breathe. Also, the higher you get, the colder it is. That's why you can see snow at the tops of many mountains, even if you don't see snow on the ground below. There's also usually not a source of fresh water for drinking close by if you live on top of a mountain. So if the air is thin and it's cold and there's not a lot of fresh water, can you imagine how hard it must be to live on top of a mountain like this man? Deserts are also difficult to live in because their soil is very dry. This is where deserts are located around the world. Temperatures in deserts can be hot, like we normally think of, but they can also be cold, like this cold ice desert in northern Russia. What makes land a desert is if it's dry. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold as long as it's really dry and there's not a big water supply. Because of that, people don't settle there. If they do, they have to adapt or change their life to make it fit in with that kind of climate. Like these people, they figured out a way to live in the desert that they can survive and that works for them. So here's where people really do like to settle, where it's easy for us to thrive. Where plants grow. Think about it. We need plants to eat. Animals also need plants to eat. And when there are animals around, people can eat the animals too. Plants grow best in tropical and temperate climates. So tropical and temperate regions are best for humans to live because we can hunt animals, gather plants, and farm. So ask yourself right now, where would humans most likely settle on this map? But no matter where people live, they find ways to adapt to their climate so they can survive. There are people who live in mountains and deserts, like the ones you saw in the pictures, even though they're challenging places to live. They found a way to adapt to it. We will learn this year about the many ways that people adapt to their environments all around the world.